Today's lesson is Topic 7.2 and Topic 7.3, using mental math and estimating to multiply two-digit numbers. The objective for today is I will discover and use patterns to multiply by multiples of 10 and estimate products involving two-digit numbers. The problem for today says, the principal of our school needs to order supplies for 20 new classrooms. Each classroom needs the following items: 20 desks, 30 chairs, and 40 pencils. How many of each item does the principal need to order? Go ahead and glue your table in your notes if you haven't already done so. We're going to be using multiplication to find out how many of each item the principal will need for the 20 classrooms. Go ahead and complete this work with me as I solve. We have 20 desks, and we also have 20 classrooms. Therefore, my multiplication problem is going to be 20 times 20. And if you look at this number, you have zeros in the ones place of both of these numbers because they are multiples of 10. I like to underline my digit in the tens place to know I need to multiply those together first. 2 times 2 equals 4. Then I take a look at how many zeros I have left in my problem. I see 1, 2. Therefore, my answer is going to be 400 desks. Always count the number of zeros in your equation. Make sure that many zeros are in your answer. Going on to the next one. I will multiply 30 chairs times 20 classrooms, because in each of the 20 classrooms, I need 30 chairs total. So I will multiply 3 times 6. So 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay, looking at my zeros, I have 1, 2. So my answer will be 600 chairs. Last problem. 40 pencils for each of the 20 classrooms. So I'm multiplying 40 times 20. Again, I underline this digit in the tens place, 4 and 2. So 4 times 2 is going to give me 8. I have 2 zeros in my equation, so I have 1, 2. So in my answer, I will have 800. So my total will be 800 pencils. It's very important to take note of your place value when you're dealing with these kind of problems. When you're looking at this problem, do you notice a pattern with all of the zeros? I have 20 times 20, and that gave me 400. I had 30 times 20, and that gave me 600. I have 40 times 20, and that gave me 800. The number of the zeros in the answers are matching the number of zeros used in the equation. Do you notice a pattern with the numbers that aren't zeros? The numbers that aren't zeros are always being multiplied together, and then we put the zeros on the end. In your notes, go ahead and try to solve the following two problems. 40 times 50. Four times 5 gives me 20. My answer is 20, but I still have 2 zeros left over here in the equation. So it's very important for me to add those 2 zeros on the end. And don't forget to add your commas. Your answer should be 2,000. The next problem, 50 times 90. So I start with taking my 10 place out and doing 5 times 9, and that gives me 45. Okay, I still have 2 zeros left in the equation, so I need to make sure I put those on the end and be sure to include your comma. So 4,500. Again, in your notes, we're going to be focusing on how you can use estimation to check your answers. How could you use the patterns of multiplying by multiples of 10 to estimate 24 times 18? First of all, I'm going to start by writing down my problem, 24 times 18. I'm going to be using my skills in estimating to round these numbers to a number that is easier to work with. So I take 24, and I'm looking next door to my 4 or below, so I'm going to let it rest. 4 or less, let it rest. So 24 is going to be 20. I look at 18. 5 or more, add 1 more, so I'm in around 18 to 20 as well. So my new multiplication problem is going to be 20 times 20. Same way I solved my other ones, I can quickly go 2 times 2 is 4, and I still have 2 zeros left to make sure I have on the end. So my answer, my estimated answer, would be about 400. In your notes, go ahead and estimate to find the product. Remember, a product is the answer to a multiplication problem. 42 times 17. So 42 can be rounded to 40 to have a multiple of 10. That's easier for me to work with. 17 would be rounded to 20 to have a multiple of 10. That's easier to work with. So my new problem is going to be 40 times 20. So again, just like I solved my other problems, I will start with 4 times 2, which gives me 8. I have 2 zeros left in my problem, so my answer would be about 800. Next problem is 33 times 31. 33, close to 30, so I'll estimate that to 30. 31 is also close to 30. So my new multiplication problem is going to be 30 times 30. Again, I underline my first digit. It's in the tens place. So I have 3 times 3, which is 9. I double check my zeros, and I have 2 zeros left over. Be sure to make sure you add those zeros on at the end.